on the table, paper white cup of gold. Sharpen up my pencil, let the first thought unfold. Hot coffee calm in my hands, steam rises slow and kind. I draw my little kingdom, then I laugh at my own mind. No rush, no noise, just a line then two. Heartbeat in the margins, something real coming through. Coffee and lit, coffee and lit. Arts of the round table feed my head. Coffee and lit, coffee and lit. Draw the day before it leaves. Arts of the round table. I wear my roots like pattern in every line I make. My people in the color, my patience in a break. I sketch with a grin of trouble, turn worry into shape. If the joke lands in the shadow, still the light won't evaporate. I see the world in a playful frame. One cup, one page, and I know my name. Coffee and lit, coffee and lit. Arts of the round table feed my head. Coffee and lit, coffee and lit. Draw the day before it. Arts of the round table. Some mornings bring the thunder, mine brings the little.
Good morning. Let me get this thing going. Good morning, everybody. Welcome and welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. This is Art to the Round Table.
I'm building peace in pencil with my
My name is Mello. Oh, man. In today's episode, today's installment of Coffee and Lead, we're just gonna... I've been doing a lot of painting, and I kind of want to slow it down a bit for myself, just because I'm not going to have a lot of time in the next couple of days to be painting. But I didn't want to continue the week without not doing anything creative. So today I think we're going to do more of a sketching practice, some figure drawing. If you want to check out my post from this morning, you can check out the references that I'm going to use. If not, I'm going to superimpose them on my screen there in case you guys want to join me. But yeah, today we chilling. It's going to be low key. Get the tunes going. You already know. So yeah, I am a couple of weeks ago, I picked up a bunch of these blank sketch covers, and I wanted to, just because I've always wanted to do sketch covers. I've always wanted to use them. I thought they were intriguing. I think it was kind of a great idea that the comic book industry has done. But I never felt that, I don't know why I never did it, honestly. But this has been a year of getting out of my own way. And why not? So I want to, where is it? Where are you? I see where you are. And I want to continue my gouache painting journey. So this was the first sketch cover I did. Put that there. The beautiful Supergirl. This is painted in gouache on one of these sketch covers. I think I'm going to try to get a bit more, a little bit more refined when I tape off. But not bad. I think it's cute. This was encouraging, especially using gouache, using gesso. So, anyway. And as the day progresses, I'll show you what we've been doing. Don't do that. Oh, wait a minute. You changed your PvP, your PFP, and name. Can you guess who you? Guess who you are. What was it? You're the fan. You're the fan of I'll go back. I'll cheat and go back and find you. And when I do that, good morning, welcome. Oh, what is your name? You're killing me, man. And listen, I may remember certain things, but I can't remember everything. So I apologize if I can't remember. I know who you are. I can't remember your original name and profile pic. It's there. It's in the back of my mind. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm a terrible person. I'm a terrible host. I'll put these here. We'll talk about those later. Give me a hint. You can't just like I haven't even finished my first cup of Joe. You're trying to turn on a car with no gas. Oh my lord. All right. I'm not gonna be able to say your name, dude. All I know is it looks like Magneh, who's annoyed by his youngs. I'm just gonna call you annoyed. Good morning and thank you. Which one? The Wolverine and the Boba Fett? Thank you. Thank you. Today we're going to be doing some figure drawing. I'm going to be drawing Tarzan and Sheena. That's Sheena, in case you guys don't know. The tasteful thickness. An Indian guy is trying to run Ohio today. Well, make sure he has he's hydrated. Ohio's a pretty big state. If you're not referring to marathon, I understand. It starts with a CA. Oh man. I am in trouble. I can't remember my homie's name. Alright, so I'm gonna be drawing here, but because this blank sheet is a bit intimidating. Oh, I know you travel through them back and forth. What the heck? It wasn't Random Seal. No. You said you changed it. Yes, I'm going to be making cover art. So what I'm going to do is I use this Strathmore paper to kind of measure out where the title is going to be in some of this stuff here. The idea I have, I'll just do a rough here. I think I'm going to have Tarzan, the majority of Tarzan right here. And Sheena in the background here. Something like that. And I know it says Tarzan and Sheena. But I was going through this book, and he doesn't show up until the end of the last page. So it makes sense. Nova Draws. I will be drawing. I'm going to be sketching out some figures for Tarzan and Sheena, if you guys aren't familiar. You always get art block when you try stuff like this. Well, the I can't. The interesting about art block. Do you get art block where you can't come up with an idea, or you can't draw, where you're having trouble trying to get stuff on paper? I'm gonna start with Tarzan, and the image. I'm gonna share the image on my on the larger screen. Give me 1 second, party people. I thought I had this going. Oh no, that's not the one. It is this one. TZ. How is everybody doing this morning? It's morning for me, so I can only make that assumption. Desktop, save. Give me a hot second, party people. I just want to, so that I can share with you guys what I'm doing. The vertical stream, I apologize because FFURE, you're not going to be able to see. I might be able to share it. Just bear with me. The rice strong fork. Ow! What the? I'm caught. I'm doing good. Thank you. My morning is going fantastic. You guys are gonna laugh because the reference I'm gonna use for Tarzan. Who is in this? Looks more like a Spider-Man image, but that's kind of like the cool thing about using reference. That's him. What the hell did I save you, bro? TZ. Of course I did. And it's heavily looks like a Peter Parker or Spider-Man. I'm gonna put this up for the vertical chat for my peoples on the vert. There's just so many things on my monitor that I can't control everything, so I apologize. Because it seems like I'm just all over the place. Come on, man, I need to see that. No, this. That. Okay, so, yeesh. Well, thank you for swinging through. I really appreciate you. So thank you. I hope to see you again soon. So yeah, Nova Draws is here. Thank you. So this is what really gave me the encouragement to be able to do and paint on these covers. So we could talk about anything. Let me just start putting some pencil to paper. Let me take a sip. Now, again, that does look like more like a Spider-Man pose, and in not only does the model look like him, but I'm just trying to draw a dude on it. So, anyway, I want to do the foreground of a tree, something like that, or some type of foliage or something here. and I'm going to put... So when I use reference like this, if I don't care for using the grid, the last couple of days I've been using the grid method. But today, and I may do it, if this comes out well, if the composition comes out well, I'll put it in a Photoshop or Photopea or something like that. And I'll use the grid method to just make sure everything is in where it's supposed to be. But for now, I just wanna draw the figure. I'm surprised that in this version of Tarzan, Alex Ross, who's one of my favorite painters, comic book painters, using gouache and watercolor, he did them without long hair. To each his own. I've always seen Tarzan to have long hair. I mean, barbershops in the jungle. All right, where is my dude at? I gave up to it, man. I'm sorry. Kane? That was the second one. Maybe the first one was more memorable. I don't know, bud. Can't be mad at me, man. Keep changing your name. Who are you hiding from, buddy? All right. So I'm like, and it may already be off kilter. It may be a little bit too big already. So I'm just trying to keep it real loose, really loose. I got the center of the face, an eye line, and none of this is solid or concrete. I'm really just trying to measure where I'm going to put the figure. All right. When you're doing practice like this, or just getting loose, it's a good idea to stay loose. So that's all I'm doing. So I'll keep that figure up. It's surprising. Maybe I'm attracted to this image because I've been drawing Spider-Man a lot. And this is... I am going to be drawing a Spider Noir in a couple of days. Or in a couple of weeks, I should say. I'm not being too strict on what I see. I apologize for the glare. Let me take care of that for you. That really didn't help, did it? It gives it an air of mystery is what it does. There. It's good enough. It's good enough, I think. Now see, for you guys, I have to sit here in a beautiful morning in the dark. I'm kidding. One of the things that I try to do when I'm doing figure drawing, I'm trying to put it in a 3D shape, which is why I'm doing these circular forms here to imply the roundness of the figure of the not the figure of the anatomy or the part of the body, and it gives me, and like this shoulder here, it keeps everything in a 3D space, and it makes it easier for my mind's eye to recognize where a shadow might go. And this is a good thing to do when you're not using reference and you're just kind of like messing around with form. Some people use squares. He has an extreme, and I use a lot of circles. And make sure I give him enough space for the loincloth. But I kind of like that appearance. I kind of like the mood of the shot of him stalking. Moving over the log or whatever it is. The tricky part, I'm glad I'm only thinking about it in pencil. The tricky part is if I paint it, how I'm going to paint it. The gentleman earlier, I'm not going to be able to say his name either. Hold on. Make forget it. There was a viewer there on the chat that mentioned about artist block, or yeah. If you guys are creatives, do you guys, we all suffer through some form of art block. I'm curious that if you guys have, what's a way for you guys to have gotten out of it? I have been kind of lucky in the last couple months that it hasn't fallen upon me, but because it's such a natural occurrence, I'm trying to do as much as possible before it comes. And I'm not wishing it upon myself at all. I just know that from experience, it will come. And it's all right. I think sometimes it just means that you're tired. So until that time comes where my body tells me, bro, you're tired, take a break, I'm going to try to do as much as possible. Also, that's going to be a loincloth here. That's what makes this little break that I'm going to take the next couple of days so welcoming. Maybe I can meet and bypass potential artist block. Alright, I think I could put this chat back here. Jazz might be putting you guys to sleep. It's just one of those things that is soothing to me. I think I was born in the wrong era. one of the things that attracted me to this image was the amount of foreshortening on the figure. It's one of the things that is probably the hardest thing to do, but when done right, can make simple drawings and images so dynamic. I encourage you guys to practice that stuff. Make his hand go through the logo, maybe. Me, Tarzan, second fiddle in own book. All right. Are you guys at all familiar with Tarzan? You guys know who this person is or this character is? I can't remember the year, but I remember watching him as a kid in a movie, Greystokes, Legend of Tarzan with Christopher Lambert, the OG Highlander, and Raiden. And English dubbed. What was her name? McDowell? I'm gonna have to shrink that so I can get his. Or I can just add something else there. It doesn't have to be exact. Man, that kid has tennis elbow. All right. I feel that that's gonna have to come up here. That's not too bad. I'm going pretty quickly here. I don't know how much detail I'm gonna put in here, but I'm digging so far. This is more for practice and just staying loose. Again, I don't know how much I'm gonna be able to put in here, so I don't know how much time I want to put in. This is actually kind of funny. I don't normally do these, kind of like a quick compositional sketching or just practices, I guess I should say. I just kind of go for it. And this is basically me. I'm not going to change the pose or anything. But I didn't want to put so much lines on that cover and mess it up for myself when it came to the painting. All right. And I don't want to look at too many references of the character by other artists because I don't want to be influenced by them. It's just going to be generic superhero face with long hair, loincloth in the jungle. It should have just made Kazaa. I'll give him a grimace. Let me change this a bit. Give a little oomfish. I started earlier today than normal because I'm shutting down earlier. Around 11:30 my time. So, about another hour and a half or so. Got much to do. I feel like the rabbit in Alice in Wonderland. Alright, the only thing that's going to sell this is if I do give him the hair, so... He's still there? Appreciate that. I might have to move the eyes. I like the way the model there's eyes are looking up, and I made mine's a little bit too low. It's one of the hardest things because we draw such unrealistic proportions on these characters. Guess what time you woke up? Just now? No, I'm just kidding. What is the time difference between you and I? Right now it is 10 a.m. for me. This is going to be difficult. I'm going to have to zoom in. Does nothing. That does nothing. I'll then be able to zoom in further. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Custom. I'm just trying to zoom in on the figure. Oh, what a goober. Pressing the wrong buttons. It's 6 a.m. or p.m. Oh no, you be going to class around so good gravy, brother. If he was hanging out with me, that's 4 in the morning. The trigger's gonna be right here. Dude, you hit me with these guessing games too early in the morning, man. I do not like that eye. It's gonna have to be implied. Two in the morning, brother? Or sister? 2 in the morning? Are you unable to sleep? Insomniac, maybe? time to sharpen the pencil. That's early. Good Lord. So, I appreciate you hanging out with me, man, but... One second. Solitaria 7773. Where did I get the reference from? That is just an image from Pinterest. I have a lot of pins that references either heroes or superhero style poses, that type of stuff. So this was one of them. And I know it says, I think it says AI modified, and I don't think it is. I think what they did was smooth out the backgrounds. Not that that deters me or anything like that. I don't really care, guys. And honestly, if you see a reference that attracts you and makes you want to draw it or study it, do it, man. It's too much. There's too many people to argue. Otherwise, to ask for permission for something that they really can't stop you from doing. Just saying. Just saying. Excuse me. But yeah, and also have another piece. I might be bouncing back and forth. I kind of like the way this looks. It doesn't look very heroic, which is fine. But I like the pose. I like the figure. I might put a dagger or something there. This leg might be hidden behind this. I still don't know what I'm gonna do here. I'm just trying to find the composition for the cover. For the cover space. Alright, loin cloth. Let's just do this. Probably could have just used Jimmify Snooker. The hard thing here is I don't want it to look too cartoonish. Even though I kind of went on the cutesy side for this cover, I don't want to do that for this one, so I'm not sure how I'm going to work the eyes. I'm going to have to figure something out here. I might keep them in some type of dynamic shading or shadow. So far so good though. I'm digging it. I like the lighting in that the kid's face there with the bounce lighting he got. These are my favorite shadows to draw. Heavy on one side. I do it a ton. do the greasy hair, but I should just look at images of wrestlers. Right here. Right there. I don't know how much I'm going to adhere to the lighting. It may help in the end. Let's find out. I had picked up some comic books. Comic books. I don't know why I said it that way. Some black and white comics from the 70s and 80s. And some John Byrne OMAC books. Book series that he did. A miniseries that he did. And it's all in black and white. And I am like feeling that black and white energy, and I wonder if I can pull it off in here and see if I can that'd be kind of cool. I'm digging his face. I'm digging the kind of like the calmness that animals get right before they pounce. I think he still looks a bit too handsome for my liking. I might end up stretching and ooglifying Tarzan here. That's also one of the drawbacks of using reference. If the model is young and they give off young energy, you end up via osmosis and visual osmosis making your character appear younger. So if I end up liking the pose, I'm gonna age him up. I might end up giving him more of a grimace too. One of the coolest attributes of the character is his ability to mimic the sound of other animals. So I could only imagine him growling back here, ready to pounce. Yeah, I'm digging it, but I think the face might need to be a bit longer. Just to have a bit more personality. So, maybe more eyebrow. Again, he was too handsome. So I want to make him a bit more Neanderthal, a bit more angry. Alright. High cheekbone because of berry and banana diet. Give him enough space so that he can grimace. Grimace is one of my favorite expressions. And it just looks cool on paper. Goes that. I want him to look like a Neanderthal. Give him some character. Might be too much, but who cares? Have they ever drawn? Have you guys ever noticed if they ever drawn a bearded Tarzan? That might be kind of cool to do. He definitely looked like an ape man. The romanticism of a well-groomed jungle dude just doesn't appeal, doesn't make sense. Eyebrows are too sharp. You guys feel me? Feel what I'm talking about? That's a bit better and more menacing. Hero or not, the dude's a savage. The Bubble. I'm Bubble. What kind of dog do you have? I have a pup here. A 6-year-old, 5-year-old pup. An Australian shepherd dog. It might be the hair that's bothering me, but for now, I think we're good. Knee. That legs need to be thicker to do that. Now remember, he got gorilla legs. It has to go underneath here. I can't make him as pretty as that the model there. He has to be All I'm doing is adding these rings. I'm adding these rings around the form. Again, that's to just inform 3D space, and it'll help me when it comes time to painting. There's a crease there, so for instance, because of his bicep, I can make it behind the shoulder, and now it has a really cool dynamic shadow. Alright, I think he's good. I think he needs some refinement. Tweak the shadows in here, shadow here. His foot is in the light. This whole arm is in the light. I might change this just to be a bit more in shadow, like he's prowling in the shadows in the canopy. Oof. I don't like the way I put in his arm, but we can't have everything. Draw scars on him. I think that's a bit better. Let's scooch over. And let's do the girl. I'm going to change my reference image. That's so funny. I got rid of the wrong image. Alright, here we go. I'll probably make her a little bit more intimidating. I'm gonna try. All right. Just switching the chat to live. All right, now for Sheena. He's in the foreground. That's the eye line. I want her to be a little bit further back, but in 3D space. So if I was to do that, really rough on those perspective lines. They're probably not even going to help me. It just looks cool when people do that. I've seen some amazing, so I wonder if I can do a study on this and see if I can play around with some inking styles. Alright. I'm gonna minimize this one. I'm gonna open that one. This one isn't too dynamic. I probably could have found some other references for her, but I kind of like the pose. This one's gonna be tough. Okay, so He's looking straight on. I want her looking that way. I'm gonna have to break down the figure pretty much pretty much on this one. And I'm going to draw really light, so you guys may not even see some of the line marks I'm doing. But what I'm trying to simplify what I see, while also trying to draw through it and pinpoint landmarks of the anatomy. Like the collarbone here. And the shoulder. Alright. Because if I can get that, then I can visualize some other landmarks, and that's in the back. She's leaning forward. So I have to imagine her rib cage leaning to my left. Now we're just drawing like weird pillows. That's her midsection. Her lower torso is obscured by the her schmuck, but we can get an idea. And she is in this position. So she is still framing Tarzan with the shape of her body, even though everything, including the spear, is pointing in the other direction. The one artist I wish I should be studying to do beautiful female figures is oh my god, what's his name? Wow. Anyway, what's his first name? Cho? I think Cho is his last name. I was just looking. I'm a fan of the dude. I'm not good at names anymore. I'm trying to draw where the hips would go. The rump. The pork shoulder. Boop, boop, boop. This leg is kind of going backwards. I don't know how I'm gonna pull that off. I love the form of her foot. I hope I can pull it off. Is it Frank? Frank Cho? I'm sorry, I don't mean to yell. It's just really upsetting that I can't remember these names. Loincloth, she shows a little bit more body, so shoulder. I'm just blocking out landmarks. The hand, the fingers. Just simplifying everything and just putting it in space. I'll deal with the spear once I get the other hand in there. I wish I've done more practical figure drawing. I have a bunch of. I'm subscribed and I follow a bunch of great pages on Instagram. But I don't use them as often. I just think the allure is having the the reference available. Alright, so I might be a little higher than I want to, but that's alright. Just need the line. Alright, now that I know where the knuckles are. If you guys are drawing with me, make sure you share what you've been able to do. I would love to see it. And maybe we can do like some critique sessions. Not that I'm an expert or anything like that, but I've done enough of these that I may have some tips to help you. If you need help, maybe I need help. The thumb's about here. Someplace we'll never know. All of this can be implied when I paint. I don't know too much about the Sheena character. I don't remember if that is the same character from the what was her name? Tawny Katan? No. Did I say her name right? I need to make her a little bit more boof. But yeah, Frank Joe. He draws very fit and beautifully created female figure. He's one, and he always does a lot of videos of his process, and I really need to be studying that guy's art. I'm gonna be respectful, even though what is she wearing? leopard two-piece. I'm just imagining the center line because I can't really see the comic form on the reference. I'm just winging it. Jeez. The hips are back there somewhere. Alright. Just go back here and look at some well, I guess it's not really difficult. It's just a two-piece. It's not very consistent, is it? It's either a bra or full Borat. A Borat with a belt. Alright. I don't know if I'm going to follow that artist's version of it. Who's another person? Terry Moore draws beautiful women, and they're very similar in appearance to Frank Cho. They all look like Betty and Veronica. But the dude I remember just enamored by the way he drew women was Adam Hughes, who is going through some medical issues. Please keep that dude in your prayers. He's just an amazing artist, and it'd be a shame to lose him 2026, but I don't know how dire. Just keep him in your prayers. Be greatly appreciated for me as a as a fan and for his family, I'm sure. Alright, this is another foreshortened leg. When you guys are doing artwork and it's foreshortening, you gotta go for it. Even if it'll end up looking weird, you have to trust that that's what the model's telling you. Because it does look weird. That weird perception of depth and distance. You just gotta trust it. Embellishing on the tunic. Give it a little bit more than just you gotta be respectful. I don't know, belt or something. Oopsie, Butterfinger. The forearm. I am waiting for a package, so my dog is gonna lose his mind as soon as the UPS guy or FedEx comes through. I love the way the tunic capture is captured in shape in 3D space. I'm gonna have to musculify. I have a female figurine here that I use sometimes. This one here. I actually use this a lot to actually draw Spider-Man, just because of the svelte, thin nature of the figurine. But when I do use it to draw females, I kind of bulk her up a bit. Go figure. All right. So far, so good. That's going to be our flat plane here. So I'm going to use this dotted line for the back leg, or for the front leg. This is the hardest part. One, because I'm looking off center. I'm looking at my monitor over here that has the reference. I'm leaning on my chair, not everything is in. So I have to trust my eyes, and then I have to move the sheet soon. That her leg is actually straighter. The bubble is here. He's still here. Thank you. That leg, I'm going to stop it right here. This calf is going to look weird and out of context because of the way she is putting her weight on the balls of her feet. So she is flexing that calf. And when you draw it like that, it's hard for the mind's eye without the full reference. Oh, that's what she's doing. So it'll look weird. You just got to trust it. And now the ankle. We're going to freehand this thing. Shorthanded, I mean. Heel. She's on her toes. Because she's creeping around. I might have to draw something in between there. Maybe she's crawling over it, but I don't know if I pulled it off. I'm going to have to move that bottom piece. I don't want it to look like a tangent. It looks like she broke a heel of her shoe or stiletto. And the shadow. I wish I did more figure drawing. I had some opportunities in college, just not enough. And I went to school with a lot of immature people, so they couldn't get the idea of a one, a live model, two, a nude model out of their head. And that type of energy is just kind of, the ignorance is a bit distracting. If that makes sense. I might I want to bring the leg a little bit further back, just because it looks to add some dynamisms. Again, the foreshortening is what's crazy. And it's an odd thing doing drawing from a live model, or not a live sitter, let alone a nude figure, because you are, when you start looking at a person to study, you're getting in everything. Your eyes are doing everything, all the crooks and nannies of the figure. All right, we're gonna have to emphasize this a bit. So as an artist, you almost have to, you can't look at it as a person. You can't look at the person as a person, as a subject. I'm gonna have to find a way to, my eyes are gonna have to accept that that's a foot. Maybe if I throw in some shadow. But it's worth it. The study's worth it. If figure drawing and figure painting is what you're going to be focusing on in your creative career, we have it's such a weird, we all want to draw things from memory. Well, how good is your memory? I couldn't remember my homie's name, whom he changed twice. Let alone the figure or the name of a body part. So which I think is kind of an interesting thing, how we tend to criticize or to label artists, oh, he uses that all the time, or he does this all the time, as if doing one or the other makes you a better artist, or no artist at all. All I know is, mind your business. Can we just mind our business and let the homie express himself? or the dudette express themselves however they want and paint and draw however they want. I've seen portraits done with collages. That is amazing. I've seen people paint with friggin' doo-doo. That's not so amazing, but it is amazing for them to do it. Raw dog and no gloves. I'll fix that spear if I have to. But yeah, studying what you want. My watch is telling me to stand up. Alright, I didn't want to, but let's see. Make it suggestive. I hate that part. Let me see. All right, how we doing? How we doing for time? What do we got? 10:50. All right. Not too shabby. There's some shadows. We don't need to see all that. Shadows. Shadow. Let's see if I can mimic these leopard prints. Ooh, interesting. In the Tarzan Disney movie, right? He fights and kills Sabor. Sabor is the jaguar. She rocking the jaguar print 2-piece, 1-piece. Check out Tarzan. Please cover yourself. Chain get jealous. Boop, 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 boop. Alright, so I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with that foot. It looks a little wonky. I'm just gonna have to trust the process and just keep toes. I'm gonna do that. All right. You guys see that? That's not too shabby for. Oh, I didn't do the face. All right. I kind of like this wildness here in the hair. The model's hair is a bit too contained, but I guess it should be. Let me see if I can. It's too poofed here. I really do love Alex Ross's, but man, he gave Tarzan a tan. Boy, look orange. Need to get under the canopies, bro. You're gonna burn. I guess she just has wild hair too. Gave her a bangle. Should I give her a bangle? You can't see it in the shoulders. She has, of course, she has jewelry, some accoutrement. Alright, how are we gonna do this? Yeah, the model's face is too kind of like What's that around the corner? Where I'm assuming that Sheena knows and is stalking what's in the corner. I'm not necessarily looking for a particular image to crib. I just need energy. That's what I'm looking for. All right. And a lot of what I do is energy and feel. I do kind of like the wildness here. All right. Tarzan and Jane on the and Sheena on the hunt for deodorant. We're going down to the wire. Let's get to it. this is going to be interesting because for me to transfer this image to this, and it might work. I'm gonna have to draw it smaller, and who knows? Am I up to the challenge? I gotta find a better way to make sure that they're together in the same shot. I don't think you guys need my references anymore. Again, if you guys drew with me, if you guys followed along with those references, I also have them in my post from earlier this morning. Share them with me. Let me see what you done did, if any. Let me know what you think. Yeah, make sure you, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Hit a like if you like what you saw. If you have any questions of how I was looking at the figure and how I built up looking at reference, put it in the chat, put it in the comments. If you put it in the comments, if you put it in the comments, it'll be easier for me to see because I'll get notifications that way. If you don't want to put it in the chat, so I do appreciate you. I'm gonna just finish up here. I'm gonna put my my see you later music on, and thank you. So this is Art to the Round Table. My name is Mello, and God bless you. Love you, mean it. And until the next time, I will draw you later.
Kept my name in the back of the room, held my own light, but I waited too long. I learned the shape of every locked door. Now my hands know what they're made for. I'm not asking, I'm arriving. Years in my bones got me upright. No more shrinking, no more sideways. I've been building quietly all my life. Arts of the round table, I take my seat. Arts of the round table, make room for me. I'm not a guest here, I'm part of the flame. Arts of the round table, say my name, say my name. Oh. Decades behind, the work in my hand, I've worn the weight like a second skin, but I can feel it when the hour turns. What I made in the dark now wants to burn. I'm not asking, I'm arriving. Years in my bones got me upright. No more shrinking, no more sideways. I've been building quietly all my life. Arts of the round table, I take my seat. Arts of the round table, make room for me. I'm not a guest here, I'm part of the flame. Arts of the round table, say my name, say my name. I don't need permission to be this real. I paid in full with sweat and steel. If the table onto the round table. Make room for me. I'm not a guest here, I'm part of the flame. Onto the round table, say my name. Onto the round table, I've earned this place. Onto the round table, face to face. I'm not a guest here, I'm part of the flame. Onto the round table, say my name.